Hello everyone, this is Crisis169 coming to you live with another video. Um, really, um, what we need to talk about though is the bad launch. Really trying to understand what's going on with this situation and trying to get an idea of what really is going on with this. And trying to figure out what's really going on and be kind of difficult. Um, I think trying to get I think the biggest issue is trying to understand what really happened. Now, what happened with Battlefield 2042? Battlefield 2042 came out right around the end of 2020. I bought the October 12th was gold edition, and you got it early. Okay, and I bought it early, and I got the game. It was buggy as all hell. Sorry, guys, thirsty. I just woke up too. About me, took a shower, 30 minutes ago, woke up. So, anyway, let's backtrack all this. Around September of 2020. Now we have to dial back 3 years. Okay, we got to dial it back 3 years. September 10th to September 11th, or September around that time frame, the Battlefield beta was launching on different platforms. PC was the last one, usually is, because PC is usually where the pinnacle of what the gaming is going to be. The PC itself is usually the pinnacle, and sorry guys, pinnacle of what a gaming can be and what games should be. PC guys always going to be that realm of games that are never going to be touched by consoles. Consoles can come close. Yeah, the Xbox X Series has 2080 Super. PS5 has 2070 Super. They're both great machines, and they're both actually good powerhouse machines that actually work pretty well. But in the same sense, though, we need to understand what's really going on with the situation. So, around September of 2020, the beta launched, and I downloaded and played it, and it was free, of course. It was free on Origin. That was an app before EA Play app took it over, and on Steam. I downloaded both of them. I wanted to see how it worked on both platforms, both different He has the same game with two different servers. You have one server, main server, Origin, and now EA, and you had Steam that has to go through Steam, goes through EA. So I wanted to see how it worked out. Like I played, different games like a Battlefront One, or Battlefront. I played that. I played that with the Battlefront on the Xbox and the PS4. So I wanted to see how each one worked. Overall, a good experience. Uh, As another Battlefront 1, first one came out about me in 2017, 2016. So, that being said, though, is there anything that could have been done differently with Battlefield? Of course. They could have waited another year to launch the beta. Uh, and even, and I'm going to give you a happy ending here, even with one of the players who gave up on the Battlefield 2042 launch due to the issues and frustrations, now it's perfect time to give it another chance. The game has come a long way since its release, with numerous improvements and additions that made it a much more enjoyable experience. This is from Future Gaming. This is from news article from Dice. How Dice turned around. Angel Kaminski. This is March 10th, 2023. So this is only a few months old this year, though. And the articles I'm reading, I'm giving you different articles because this is how I found my research. And I'm taking a little bit from you, and I'm also going to credit the people who wrote it. So, but I'm trying to give you the best idea. Really, with this 2042 launch, it's really hard to understand why the game didn't just fall flat on its ass. Why it stuck around for practically 2 years or 3 years. Maybe 3 years this October. And understand why. Why its predecessor, Call of Duty, is having so much trouble. Battlefield kind of burned a lot of people on this. And when Call of Duty came out, it'll be a great game. You saw the numbers, 400,000 players, 488,000 to be precise, logged in playing this game day one. Then you slowly saw the trend go down. And I'm going to go to the numbers here real quick on Battlefield. Because I really believe in having hard data. Because I believe in having hard data. The place we're going to is Steam. Only place that really has any real live data is Steam. Steam charts, because a lot of games don't have it. All-time peak when the game launched was 100,000 players. When it launched back in 2021, this is 2021, it's a little later than this. I mean, it's 2021. Maybe it was 2021. But it would feel like 2020 to me. It felt like a cluster. Probably 2021. Sorry, guys. But that game had 100,000 players, 50,000 in average. It went from lost 30,000, 12,000, 4,000, 1,000. April of 2020, it gained 105 at 5%. Lost 163, and gained 4,000. Lost 1,400, gained 76.1. Lost or gained almost 2,000. Lost 1,600, and that was over in October 2022. You get to go all the way up to right where we're at now. Even in April and May, they lost 2,600 players. Okay? So right now, we're sitting at 9,000, 24-hour peak. And the average players right now, 34 minutes, is 6,000. So if you take away, you do a little math here. 100, 590, minus 9,908. You have lost over 90,000 players from when it launched to now. And for shits and giggles, let's calculate Call of Duty's demise. I know I'm going to do that anyway. Let's do that. 488,000. 4 million. Mine, I think it's like 98,000. It's a rough estimate, guys. But they lost over 390,000 players. Over 80%. So, in the span of less than 6 months for Call of Duty, they lost over 300,000 players. Over 400,000 players. 80%. Battlefield lost that many people in the span, hell, of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In a span of a year, they lost and gained that. Now, will Battlefield ever come back to where it was? The short answer is no. The sad thing is, it's already been done. The damage has been done. But them saying they're going to stay with this for at least season 6 does give a lot of hope for a lot of people like me who bought this game at $90. Now I spent $109 on Call of Duty Gold. And I still feel burned by it. But at least the game works. The problem is campers have taken over and they're totally destroying the game from inside out. Because they have to. People have to cheat. They have to find a way to win, That's the way it is in what we live in. Okay. 48 hours ago, it's been a constant people, about 7,000 to 8,000 players, 6,000 players so far. A year ago, they've gained a lot. They were at, Battlefield was at 8,000 and they went up to 36,000. And they're hovering right around 10,000, 40. 10,040. So really, for a game that had this much problems, and people say, well, it's terrible, it sucks, Call of Duty better. For a game that's been out for practically almost 2 years, since 2021, and it still has right around 10,000 players playing this thing, says a lot what DICE has done for the franchise. They single-handedly pumped in some adrenaline and got people back into the game. I'm not saying the game is safe by any means. No, it's not safe in the sense that the game could collapse tomorrow and die out tomorrow. And I have a paperweight system that I can't use anymore. No, I have a paperweight that I can't use anymore. I have a game that's pretty much useless. She's just an app that won't work, right? So, that being said, though, Battlefield is nowhere near the perfection it needs to be. And no, I'm not sponsored by Mountain Deer Pets. I wish I was, but I wasn't. Anyway, though. But it's working. People are enjoying it. People are giving it a second chance. A lot of players that moved on to different games don't care about this anymore. So they lost probably about 50% to 80% of the hardcore fan base. Now, they can try and get some of those back. But they're going to come back to Season 5 or Season 6. And at that point in time, Battlefield 7 will be right around the corner. My best advice I can give EA, if I was in the board meetings, if I was sitting there in the board meetings, a round table or straight table, first thing I would say, for the love of God, Season 7, your Battlefield 7, do not screw it up. Please, for the love of God, work out every bug. If you have small bugs, whatever. Small issues, maybe issues with online thing, because it happens all the time. Every game has it nowadays. Love God, fix it in 48 hours. If you know you're going to have a bug, get it fixed in 48 hours and smooth sailing. Yeah, you may lose about 1,000 players because, oh my God, same time all again. But people are like, oh, well, this is a lot better than 2042 was launch-wise. Then you can win those 1,000 people back. But if you go off the rails, if you do whatever you want, You don't care about the fact that you're going to be screwing people, out of practically out of having you know having a good time and working, having a good time working. When it comes down to it, and playing your game, and you totally lost your franchise Battlefield. But the advice I can give you is don't rush it. If you have to delay Battlefield 7 for an extra year or two, great. Make Season 7, make Season 8. They can be small updates that you release free. Small updates you release free, some good cosmetic, maybe an extra weapon or whatever. That's what I would do. Hey, get my hyper seats that, we're delaying 7, we're delaying Battlefield 7 so we can make sure it runs perfectly good. I gotcha. But we have Battlefield 2042, we're giving more updates. You price drop Battlefield 2042, so those 80% that left may come back and, I'm going to give Battlefield 2042 a chance. You have at least a year or two of the game. Let's say 2 years. You drop Battlefield 7 and 2024, 5, 2025, 2026, in Battlefield 7, 2026. People are investing in Battlefield 2042. New people who came back. Keep it on Game Pass. Keep it on PlayStation Plus. Keep pushing it. Even make it free on PC if you want to. Of course, piss a lot of people off because people paid money for it, like myself. But you have to do what you gotta do, or make it half off or whatever on PC, like Steam. People buy it. People download. Oh yeah, I don't buy. Okay, and you had to have an ad say, hey, our Battlefield 7 is launching in 2 years. We pushed it back. I want you to go ahead and pre-order this. We'll continue to play this. And give extra perks for pre-ordering game, whatever. Or something. Incentive, whatever. But that way, you're winning people back in your races, and also you're keeping Battlefield 2042 alive even longer. So you can recoup some of the lost venture that people lost, but also get people who once left back into the fold again. So when 7 finally releases, because you take 2 more years to put it in the oven, to smooth it out completely, to make it where it's not going to be as much bugs. Then when the game launches, boom, people will still be playing 2042 for a while and hop over to Battlefield 7 after the reviews come out and the game's been out for a couple months and it's not total dumpster fire. Okay, I'll come buy it now. Well, you buy Battlefield 2042, he'll hello Battlefield 7. But still market Battlefield 2042. Being like WXP weekend and have both games, going. Not at the same time. Made WXP weekend for 2042. Then have a longer WXP weekend for Battlefield 7. Longer, maybe 2 weekends or 3 weekends long, or just 5 days long. But have one weekend for the Battlefield 2042. People who are still playing that game because maybe they got invested and they want to at least just get a year in before they jump over to Battlefield 7. Most players of games are going to wait about a year for the game and the next game launches anyway, to see how well it is performing, especially on PC. Console crowd, doesn't really matter. But that's what I would do to help benefit 2022 is I would push the launch back of Battlefield 7 to, hey, we're making sure everything is kosher. Hire game testers, online people, hey, myself, whatever. Send us a copy of the game or whatever, download it to our rig or whatever, or consoles, whatever choice. People play it, they will write it, and beta testing, like a private beta testing, and send the information back and see how it works. You do that throughout the year, of the final release launch date. Then you can get all the bugs worked out, and if you push it back a little farther, people will understand. So yeah, I bet this the game wasn't too bad. There's some issues. You can say that, on the website. Well, some people from testers found issues with the game. We're going to make sure everything's taken care of before we release this game. People understand. But meanwhile, 2042 is up and we're still running. It's double AP and the WXP weekend. The game is free on Game Pass and half price on Steam and free on PlayStation Plus. Once you go play that for an extra year or so, because we'll push it back for another year or whatever, 6 months. People get invested in that, they start playing that, boom, they go to Battlefield 7, and it's like, okay, cool. But that's what I would do to help increase chances of people buying Battlefield 7. If they have Battlefield 2042 working great, again, fun experience, people might want to play 2042 for a full year. Dice might think, heck, we'll push this back for another year. And let the Battlefield 2042 finally get its feet wet where people are enjoying it and they're not sitting there having to have an mundane task of trying to play a game. See, guys, Battlefield 2042 came a long way. From its launch in 2021 to its near demise to the rebirth of it, all in the span of at least a year and a half. A year and a half. This game turned around, and it proves to me that DICE listens. DICE understands stuff. But they have to take the ball and run with it an extra mile to understand, hey, this stuff shouldn't happen at all. Okay? We should not have this. We should not have this game being in such mess. We should not have this game being in such disarray where it's just a total cluster mess. We should not have this. Okay? The game should be 100% workable. It should be able to work. It should be able to do what it needs to do and not have to drink, okay, well, we're going to do this, and this. They had a plan once the game went down the toilet. And they plunged the game out of the toilet and actually fixed it. And I give them mad props for that. It shouldn't have been in the first place. I understand that. It shouldn't have happened. I understand that. But it should be something that needs to be addressed. That it needs to be addressed and it needs to be worked on. That people need to understand that this is a problem with first-person shooters at the time. And my next video will be about Call of Duty and the current state it is in. And it's a lot worse right now than Battlefield is. Because the game still has issues. It's been out for less than a year and still has more problems than Battlefield has. And Battlefield had problems. I mean, they had problems you would not believe. But because of the Battlefield situation, they had the problems that they had. And they needed to fix, the wrongs, to right the wrongs of their problem, and actually try to fix it. So my next story next week will be about the story of Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2. What happened? And is this the death of Call of Duty? Because right now, people are not staying in line for Modern Warfare 3. And they probably shouldn't be anyway. Because I guarantee you, Call of Duty, doesn't care about us. So why should we spend our time trying to appease a company that doesn't care about us directly? And to me, that's something that I understand these are game companies. But also, you have to understand, too, that we're paying them all these billions of dollars. On both sides of the company, Activision and EA, we're paying them. This is my final thoughts here. That we're both paying them all this money here. All this money we're paying them. And yet, they just treat us like, like we're, $10 cheap hooker. It's really sad. We're paying them all this money for great experiences. And Call of Duty Battlefield has given great experiences. And Battlefield has given great experiences. But it seems like they lost their way. The Battlefront 2 fiasco and the hearing of canceling of Titanfall 3, after 10 months after it was being in production, really bothers a lot of people. But then again, now they can't look to hopefully get Titanfall up and running. So it's not Titanfall, but 2042 up and running. So it's not really a bad day. People have to start accepting that. Sometimes, making small sacrifices is always for a better good than losing the whole thing, losing the whole game over a small little game like Titanfall 3 that may not have taken off real well because of the bad taste of 2014 people's mouths. Could have damaged Titanfall even more franchise. So canceling Titanfall 3 to pretty much work on fixing Battlefield 2042 was a small sacrifice, but it doesn't mean that they scrapped Titanfall 3 together. They could launch it a year after they launched Battlefield 7, or launch it before that, like a year before Battlefield 7. We don't know how far along they were with the game. But this engine that they used was old and outdated. The Frostbite engine was outdated for Battlefield 2042. A new one coming in for Battlefield 7. And we have new graphic engines like this. And you have tornadoes that look like tornadoes now, and sandstorms and stuff like that. And you have all things happening. Real life environment changes. It does, make the game a lot better and fun. Hell, I don't know how my war my what I call it, machine got picked up by a tornado and slung. If I didn't jump out of it, now I would have been killed in the machine. So I had to jump out of the machine I was using because the tornado came by. It was a big one too. It was an hourglass, picked me up and slung me. So now I had to bail out and jump out of the vehicle and parachute down. Meanwhile, the tornadoes come by and throwing people around and throwing crap around everywhere. So that's kind of stuff that Battlefield has in their games. That's going to take a lot of processing power, because you processing power of a console or especially gaming rig, you get the processing power of a tornado or a hurricane or a sandstorm. Things do. So I do understand things do have limitations. But my final saying here is, if you haven't played Battlefield 2042 now, you're missing out on the good game. I'll give it another chance. Always keep your mind open to the fact that the game is not 100% what it was. Battlefield 4, even Battlefield 4 wasn't great. I played it on the PlayStation. My chopper froze when I hit the ground. But I paid the $10 fee from PS3 to the PS4 upgrade, so I had a better experience. But Battlefield games always had bugs, guys. It never not had bugs. That's the way it is with Battlefield games. I mean, I don't care anybody tells you. But that's how we're so used to it right now. So used to the fact that Battlefield had bugs, and people don't mind that, as long as the game is a good experience. But in closing, for real this time, Battlefield 2042 missed the mark on many things, but regained a lot of its composure. And people are like, you know what? I'm going to give Battlefield a second chance. And you should too. You should go up there. You want I have Game Pass, EA Play on Game Pass Ultimate. I'm going to go download Battlefield 2042 and play it and enjoy it. And enjoy it for what it is. It's a chaos first-person shooter. It's total chaos. You're running around there's more modes than it was before. Many things to do. You can go completely apeshit crazy and run around. There's tornadoes. There's sandstorms. There's things going on. There's rain everywhere. There's lightning everywhere. It's a good experience. But you have to find your place. But you got to find yourself in the game. Like me, I'm a support person, so I love throwing down ammo. I'm not very great when it comes to shooting people, but I'm great dropping ammo and reviving down team members. So I get a lot of points doing that. I also fly very well and also have pretty good, weaponry on my vehicles. That being said, guys, it doesn't mean that Battlefield is a perfect game, but it's still a good experience. So Crisis 169 saying peace and love. See you guys later. Next week will be Call of Duty. What happened? Peace out.